So after looking at the jockey system and techniques in our last video, if you didn't watch it, check the link in the description. In today's video, it's the step 2 on how to defend. Let's look at how you can basically improve your one-on-one defending ability. If you can't defend one-on-one, this video is for you, bro. So without wasting time, let's jump into it. Defending one-on-one is the skill all pros mastered, and they first learnt the basics once. Today it's about basic. So the first step is defender positioning. To be able to defend well one-on-one, you have to position your defender in a basic safe position, and the first way is to position your defender in front of the opponent's player. Here you can defend the opponent's way towards your goal. You have to cover the angle or lane towards your goal. By doing so, you place your defender in front of that player having the ball. And more especially in or around the box, you have to imagine a straight line from the ball towards your goalkeeper and position your defender in that line. This is the best way to position your defender inside your box. Here he can apply pressure and stop the opponent from progressing forward, and even block the shooting angle. This is how pros position their defenders inside the box, and if the opponent attempts to shoot, the ball will be blocked by your defender. Then leave a gap of 2 to 3 yards from the ball holder. You have to create a little bit of space from the opponent's player. A lot of players make this mistake. They move too close to the opponent's player. Here you're over-committing, and it's easy to beat your defender with simple tricks. That's what your opponent needs to use: skill moves. High up the pitch you can do this and get away with it. There's some distance towards your goal. You can be aggressive high up the pitch and try and win the ball as early as possible. But in final third, near your box, or inside your box, it's a different story. You have to leave this 2 to 3 yards from the opponent's player. Here it's not easy for the opponent to beat your defender with simple tricks or dribblings. You have to be patient with your positioning. Again, don't be too far away from the ball holder. You have to move closer to him, then position your defender very well. But how can you move your defender basically and maintain his position? That's when you need the jockey system. Though we looked at the jockey techniques, but we didn't explore more further in ways you can use it to move your defender. Defender movement is also so crucial and important. We have the speed jockey, used to approach the ball holder. The question is, why the speed jockey best when pressing the ball? It gives you more control of your defender. The defender moves very fast and precise. He can change directions very quick with a lot of ease and control. In this way you can react to any change of directions, or any slight movement the opponent makes with his player. Speed jockey is used to mirror the opponent's movements. If he goes right you follow, and if he goes left you follow also. The L2, or the slow jockey, this is the normal jockey technique used for 2 main important ways, and one is to maintain the defender's ground. The speed jockey is good because it's fast, but it's also easy for you to overcommit, as it covers a lot of ground in just a little time. Though sometimes you need to just maintain a simple movement, especially in tight positions, where the opponent has a little space to work with. Here your defender have to move a little bit slow, but reactive. The next way is to stabilize your defender. Sprinting, or fast jockeying. Your player tends to move fast, especially if you're sprinting trying to close up some space. Here if the opponent reads it and he try to change direction, as a defender if your defender moves fast and you try to react to opponent's movement, it seems to be hard because of his moving speed. So in these situations where you need to keep a close reaction to the opponent's movement, you have to use the slow jockey and stabilize your defender, especially if you're sprinting. In many cases, this will help defender to stop and change direction way much easier. To understand it more, take a look at these 2 quick examples. Here the opponent has much space down here. I anticipate that and I sprint to cover it up. As I'm sprinting, my player is in fast motion movement. The opponent reads it and he stops. I also realize it and hold the normal jockey or slow jockey to stabilize my defender. But look how it was easy for my defender to change his direction from a sprinting motion. Though I didn't win the ball, but I was able to stop a dangerous attack and win the ball later. The next example, here my opponent has this space down the wing and I think he want to drive into it, so I also sprint to catch up, but later he decide to slow down and change direction, so I also hold the slow jockey L2. It stabilized my defender. This way I was able to react to the opponent's movements. I approach and win the ball back. The best way to use the jockey system is to mixture them up in your controls. You have to learn a mixture of this system, where you know when to speed jockey, and when to use a slow jockey to maintain a better control of your defender. Sprinting to cover up space is also crucial in some scenarios, though jockeying is good, but even sometimes you need to sprint if there's a big space between your defender and the opponent's player. Sprint and close the space, then jockey and approach the opponent. Time will come when you just use them without thinking about it. For example here, I sprint to match the opponent's moving speed. After getting close I anticipate the opponent changing direction, so I hold L2 to stabilize my defender. After I speed jockey to follow his movement, I hold L2 again to stabilize my defender, because I knew my opponent is not continuing to the direction I'm anticipating. Again I go back to speed jockeying to follow his movement again. The opponent didn't move too far. He tried to change direction again, that's why I press L2 to stabilize again. I hold speed jockey and I apply pressure, ending up dispossessing him. Though jockeying is good and it can automatically tackle the ball if you get close to the opponent, but you need to defend more manually, and that's why you need to tackle. We have two types of tackles. One is the slide tackle. This is where you use the square button. The defender will slide and tackle the ball, but I don't recommend you guys using this type of tackle because it's very risky. The next is the standing tackle. This is where you press the circle button on your controller. Your defender will tackle the ball while standing. This is the common and the most useful one. It's not recommended to be spamming the tackle button all over the pitch. The moment you press the tackle button and you don't win the ball, you will be left in that motion, giving the opponent the opportunity to move without any challenge. So don't overuse the tackle button, especially around or inside the box. You have to be patient and wait for the best opportunities. If you want in-depth tutorial explaining how to tackle, check the link in the description. So what are the best opportunities where you need to press the tackle button? The best way to tackle is when the opponent makes a heavy touch. A heavy touch is when a player hits the ball away from his feet, and he have to move close again to the ball to be able to control it again. That's your opportunity as a defender to step in and tackle the ball. A player is more likely to make a heavy touch if he's in a sprinting motion, and even after or during when he's performing a skill move. For example here, the opponent makes a heavy touch trying to drive forward. Look how long it took for his player to regain control of the ball. So me as a defender, I sprint to cover up this pass to this player because I anticipated him passing, but opponent wanted to surprise me by driving forward. As I'm sprinting I spot a heavy touch, so I hold L2 to stabilize my defender, then I press the tackle button and win the ball. So in brief on how to defend one-on-one, approach the ball holder with the speed jockey to have a better control of your defender. If it needs to stabilize your defender, use the slow jockey in that case. Maintain a 2 to 3 yard space to avoid over-committing, but don't be too far away. You have to be close to the ball holder, 2 to 3 yards. You have to be patient and calm. You need to wait. Either the opponent will come into your defender, or wait for that heavy touch and step in to tackle the ball. You will not just be running to the ball holder and defend one-on-one. Your opponent won't be dribbling every time. There's a passing game you need to watch out. You need to cut passing lanes also. That's why you need to watch our next video. Keep eyes on the channel. Hope you understood something today. Thanks for watching.